So I mean, I knew Sanyu from about little less than a year ago. I know, but also I mean for the people who are listening to the show, if it's okay, would you give a little bit of introduction about what you're doing in Korea, and also what a little bit about Funding Box as well?
Yeah. I'm taking perspective.
Mhm.
That's what Korea basically is helping me achieve. Perspective from Europe, perspective from business, and perspective from logic. Perspective from Europe, because I think this part of the world, South Korea, Indo-Pacific, is going to be a key part of the world in how the world is shaping. From business, because thanks to the courses that your academy provides, I tried to learn Python.
Okay.
And then software logic clearly defines business logic, which has been something I've only learned after 32 years in business. And perspective from our European way of life, trying to learn Korean and adapt to the local language and the local customs. So in all, I would say that it's been a year of rediscovering all of what I thought was forgiven by taking some perspective living here in Korea.
Okay, so it's been about almost a year now, right? Living
Exactly.
in Korea. Right. Is it your first time, like really living outside of the Eurozone, or have you been living in elsewhere a lot?
No, actually, we've also been as a family in the U.S., in New York, actually, and we've been in Denmark, and we've been in Spain, and now we are in I would say, our fourth destination as a family together.
First time in Asia, though, living in Asia?
First time in Asia. I'm an Indian origin,
Oh, okay.
so I've been traveling to India quite a bit for some years, but this and other parts of Asia, but actually relocating as a family and starting businesses first time in Asia.
So I guess over the course of the year, you've been able to meet some of the players, investors, or startups and SMEs and even larger companies in Korea. What are your thoughts about like the Korean startup and Korean like business ecosystem in the perspective of an investor or an incubator and stuff like that, especially from a Westerner's point of view? Because I'm assuming a lot of the audiences that are listening to this channel, they are they're in business obviously as investors or players in the business world as well.
So I've been now to several events and panels and discussions where Korean startups get blamed for not being ambitious enough, thinking about global or even having their pitch ready in English. I actually don't agree that's a minus. I think having the opportunity of building something people want for a market that is as big, as large as the Korean one is actually a privilege. I think it's an opportunity every startup should grasp. And all of those who manage to get a larger portion of the market here, at some point develop the ability to also go global and have the capacity to have more international teams. So all in all, I think it's actually very, very, very good to have a large market where you can actually test your global capacity.
Yes. And especially as a relatively younger entrepreneur active in Korea, with age, a lot of the younger people, CEOs that are out there, startup founders and everything, they're relatively more global than the predecessors, basically. So they are much more open to their culture-wise, business culture-wise as well. So I think we are ready for a little more step into globalization as a market as a whole. I think Koreans.